The term u sub I in equation 4.3 is the error term. In the context of the prediction problem, u sub I is the difference between big Y sub I and its predicted value using the population regression line. The linear regression model is its terminology are summarized in key concept 4.1. Figure 4.1 summarizes the linear regression model with a single regressor for 7 hypothetical observations on test scores big Y and class size big X. The population regression line is the straight line b sub naught plus b sub 1 big X. That's not b, that's beta. We're starting that sentence. The population regression line is the straight line beta sub naught plus beta sub 1 big X. The population regression line slopes down. Beta sub 1 is less than 0, which means that districts with lower student-teacher ratios, smaller classes, tend to have higher test scores. The intercept beta sub naught has a mathematical meaning as the value of the big Y axis intersected by the population regression line, but as mentioned earlier, it has no real-world meaning in this example. Key concept 4.1, terminology for a linear regression model with a single regressor. The linear regression model is big Y sub I equals beta sub naught plus beta sub 1 big X sub I plus u sub I, where the subscript I runs over observations I equals 1 through n. Big Y sub I is the dependent variable and regressand, or simply the left-hand variable. Big X sub I is the independent variable, the regressor, or simply the right-hand variable. Beta sub naught plus beta sub 1 big X is the population regression line or the population regression function. Beta sub naught is the intercept of the population regression line. Beta sub 1 is the slope of the population regression line, and u sub I is the error term. Returning to the text, the hypothetical observations in figure 4.1 do not fall exactly on the population regression line. For example, the value of big Y for District 1, big Y sub 1, is above the population regression line. This means that test scores in District 1 were better than predicted by the population regression line. So the error term for that district, u sub 1, is positive. In contrast, big Y sub 2 is below the population regression line, so test scores for that district were worse than predicted, and u sub 2 is less than 0. See figure 4.1, scatter plot of test score versus student-teacher ratio hypothetical data. On the vertical axis is Y test score ranging from 600 to 700, and the x-axis, big X, student-teacher ratio from 10 to 30. The text reads, the scatter plot shows hypothetical observations for 7 school districts. The population regression line is beta sub naught plus beta sub 1 big X. The vertical distance from the ith point to the population regression line is big Y sub I minus open beta sub naught plus beta sub 1 big X sub I closed, which is the population error term u sub I for the ith observation. So if you look at the graph, it's a downward sloping line. Slope is negative. And there's a scatter plot with a blue line that approximates, which is beta sub naught plus beta sub 1 big X. And you have u sub 1 and u sub 2, which are differences in the prediction line, beta sub naught plus beta sub 1 big X. Okay, thanks.